And also, if you score some quick points, you think you're putting pressure on the other team, but this is not a 21-point game. That was wonderfully well with 28 points. But when the 25 point is the game, then you buy a lot of time to come back.
Beautiful anticipation.
As I said before, I think Sastry should stay on the left side. Repeating, I think Sastry should stay on the left side. Sheldon was doing very well on the right side. By serving on that side, once he's put out, nothing has been accomplished except that they're now on the second serve. When you're on the second serve, that means the back team can put you out more easily. You don't have to get 2 out now, you only have to get 1 out. But they're young, they're young. Again, you can see the move as Brother Carl before stated. When you get into late 40s and you get a little bit tired, you get to tend to be a half step slow. That's what happened there. The alertness factor diminishes tremendously. Torres is full of desire, but if the body doesn't respond, then you have a whole different ball game. That was a wonderful shot. Again, he's convinced he must make these early points. I think he's going under the assumption that he may not have the juice for the end of the game. He may tend to think he's going to rattle this other team, but I don't think they're going to care. Sheldon is not getting in trouble on the right side. He's doing very well. That's all the more reason that Sastry should have the upper hand on the left side. There seems to be a question as to whether or not that ball was good or not. Short line referee has been awakened. He's going to make his call. And he said, what time is it? Are we on daylight savings time? Morris Levitsky, who has no place in this at all, came to him to see whether or not he was awake, and we'll see what happens now.
What I wanted to say was the tremendous skill required in this game. I'm 70 years old, and I'll play any top athlete in the country for $25,000.
I happen to agree with him.
Any top football player, basketball player,
he can do it.
Played him a game of handball for $25,000.
Is that 1 wall or 4 wall?
4 wall.
Okay, we're glad we clarified that. My challenge is to play any professional player in the country. I don't care what game it is, 1 wall, 3 wall, or 4 wall. But he's 70, and we'll say our prayers every night that we'll be here to enjoy him many more years.
I just like to wake up tomorrow.
That's right. I wake up in the morning, open one eye, and say, well, I made it again. And then I look in the obituary to see if my name's there. Matthew, isn't it strange that all the people who die and their names are in the paper, they die in alphabetical order? Isn't that amazing? It's tremendous. I think the players are going to tell me that. So I lower my voice. I get so excited about this game. And hearing the sound of my own voice is amazing. Robert Sastry's up now. The score is 4-8. Which is pretty good for the front team. It's not good for Torres and his partner. If he was going to make that an initial thrust to get a lot of points, they should have at least an 8-point advantage. By allowing these young kids back in the game at 4-8, having youth, having resilience, having more stamina, it could make a difference. Especially if they put the pressure on Torres. They seem to be playing Lonergan for some reason. They should be trying to tire Torres. This is a mistake. But they're young. See, Sheldon didn't get in trouble yet on the right side. Sastry is still viable. The game is continuing on. The longer 2 bounces. I think we may have to have a referee change. The man on the short line missed the kill shot before, and now he missed the double bounce. He is, having been confronted with about 8 people who threatened his life, he now came around to say it was 2 bounces.
All right,
You see, when you get to a certain age, you tend to doze off. I was correct before when they had to go over and wake him up. Unfortunately, he's still dozing off. Nobody wants to take a chance and ref and be killed, so we put guys who are on Social Security over there. What do they got to lose? All you people out there on Social Security, don't write me any letters, please. I'm on Social Security. I'm so old, my number is 001. And it's in stone.
Wow.
Again, Torres has basically shot his load in scoring those early points. Sastry on the left side is in great position. Sheldon is doing a fine job on the right. They should leave it this way. They should not switch on the serves unless they get into trouble. Sastry is the dominant force over there. He's young, he's consistent, he's alert. But watch out for the serves of Torres. It expends no energy to hit an ace, which goes either way and scores a point. You don't have to worry about a volley. Let's see how Torres' moves change. He was a bit more crisp in the first 8 points. He's starting to move a little, just a touch slower right now. His serve wasn't as effective there. It went into the no-man's zone, which is about 3 feet in front of, past the short line and 3 feet in front of the long line. There was a slight bit of communication now between Lonergan and Torres. It wasn't loud, but at least it was there. I haven't heard anything yet between Sastry and Sheldon. There's the fatigue factor. That's a double fault, and they have lost one of the serves. This is one of the factors I was telling you about. Lonergan's still strong and bullish, just hit the ball over the long line. One fault. They should keep the pressure on Torres. They should not give the ball to Lonergan. He's too strong. Sheldon and Sastry should back up slightly and then pick a shot at the feet of Torres. And to serve, they should serve the ball to the long line, then move in, take it off the wall and hit it in front of their own partner or themselves. That's the essence of top doubles play. What they're doing now is battering the middle, hoping for a weakness. And Torres made that weakness. You look at Torres' face now. He seems to be a little bit drained and fatigued. Lonergan is raring to go, but he has no dominance to make the definitive shot in order to make a difference. His job, which he's doing superbly, is not making a mistake and retrieving everything. Again, they put Sheldon on that left side, which I think is a mistake. They should keep working on Torres. Now you may ask, how many more times will he be able to do that? It was a wonderful volley-ending shot, but perhaps some might interpret it as a bit of desperation and rolling it out. It was his instinct that got him to that ball. It was his instinct that rolled it out. But I don't think it was a concerted effort on his part to be a major factor in this game. Fatigue is definitely setting in. That return up the middle was a no-man shot with very little power on it. They keep playing Lonergan for some reason. They should keep smashing at Torres' feet. There you go. You see that? That's what they should be doing. That was amazing. The ball was playable, and again, they put it back to Lonergan. They got to be careful now because Torres may end the volley if it's anywhere near him. Sastry missed.
I think there's a lot of sentimental feeling for Torres.
No question about it. I think the thing that lost that volley for Sastry was his disappointment and frustration at seeing Torres allegedly miss the ball floating high in the air, only to find its way back in play. That was sort of a disconcerting factor. But they're still making an error in playing Lonergan. And if you play it to Torres, you can't lower it to him. Drive it at his feet with a little bit of pace. But it's easy for me to say this here. But then again, my brothers and I won 92 national championships. You think that gives us the right to say anything? I don't know.
Why is he taking that shot?
Sastry with his left?
No, that kind of a whiff shot.
Who's he?
Top spin, out toes. Like this kind of.
Well, he's used to that. When he plays lesser teams, that works very successfully, maybe over 95% of the time. But now when the pace is picked up and you got a shooter like Sastry there, you have the same instincts about spinning the ball. I alluded to that earlier. When you play a lesser team, you pull out all sorts of tricks and things like that. We have some kids at the court now even. They're coming along splendidly. They think they're great. And when they get into a game, they start spinning the ball. And when they get into a higher level of competition, they're still spinning the ball off the court. This is a game of concentration, dedication, alertness. You must continue to practice only the key basic shots. And if you get good enough, you may pull out a surprise shot, which will be tremendously spectacular. Unfortunately, the direction has changed. We want instant gratification now. We want the roar of the crowd for a rollout kill, which has nothing to do with winning the game. Many times these kids will roll out the ball, and they could have just used a moderate speed ball to end the volley in their favor. That's the essence of what this game is all about. Was I breathing on that? This may have been just the breather that Torres and his partner Lonergan need. They go over to the stage to my right. They have their friends and family there. They give them a great deal of encouragement. Sastry and Sheldon have no encouragement at all. The front team, being the older team, are sentimental favorites because of the talents, especially of Torres, proving it in the record book. You see that shot? That's strictly reflex after many years of tournament play. What a beautiful move that was. Even though he's in his late 40s, you tend to go back into the basket and come out with a magnificent shot, just like that. Just beautiful to watch. Again, they're making an error in playing Lonergan. Lonergan will get back everything until the cows come home. Their only chance is to move the ball at Torres' feet, bounce the ball to his feet, and then hope for a kill shot to end the volley. Even that was an error. He lowered the ball to Torres. You can't lower the ball. You must bounce it at his feet. The score is 13-7. Now the frustration factor may set in for the back team. But being young, I don't think they know the score. I don't think they care about who their opponents are. I think they're going to just keep moving on. Is it 125-point final? Or 2 out of 3? We've just had a correction on the side from my good friend Jerry. We were assuming that, as the other preceding matches, it would be 25 points to take the championship. It now turns out that they're going to be 15 games. I believe the first 2 will be 15, and in the event of a tiebreaker, I think the third game will be 11 points.
2 15s and 11, really?
I don't know. We're checking it out now. We'll find out in a moment. Levitsky, if there's a tiebreaker, how many points?
11. Find out what you're talking about.
If there is a tiebreaker in this match, how many points will the tiebreaker?
15,
back up.
and 11.
Okay.
Right time.
So the answer to my question was 11 rather than 15, 15, and 11. My question was, if in the event of a tiebreaker, how many points will there be? Wasn't that my question, Matthew? All right. He wanted to get on camera. That's perfectly all right.
Can you throw in a bag of bad calls, too? Please.
Again, that was the first game, and it went to the team of Torres and Lonergan. So I take back part of the comments I made at the beginning of the game about that fast surge. It's 15 points, having been won by the team of Torres and Lonergan. Very well done. I think, too, with another 15 game coming up, you might have to give the nod to Torres and Lonergan. With these short games, they have the expertise and the seasoning. I still believe, though, Robert Sastry should be on the left, David Sheldon should stay on the right, and hopefully with their youth, they should at least make a mark in the second game. I personally don't see it, though. I just don't see it. Buddy! 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 Come here. Buddy Gant, who is one of the finest athletes in the history of the handball game. Stop right there. He is such a tremendous athlete. He starts the beginning of the game with the same amount of attention and the same focus that he gives to the end of the game. He's just recently taken up hardball. He's taken up singles and doubles. He's done remarkably well. I want his comments about what makes you such a great competitor. What do you do to practice to make yourself such a great competitor? And just how do you approach a game before the game in order to prepare yourself for the game? It's a multiple question.
Well, you want to know something? After watching these guys, that's my incentive.
Wow. But yeah, answer my question. What in you makes you so alert, concentrates so very much on what goes on in this game? What is it? Were you born with that?
Maybe.
Okay, that's a good. I like that. But here's another question. What do you think can be done in order to promote one-wall handball in the high schools?
I don't know, maybe possibly exhibitions.
Okay, that is the exact answer that I've asked many people about, and I'm glad you said that. We're going to work on a program to get the school kids interested. You will be one of the people who will put on exhibitions. And I think that's beautiful because you're a great person, a great athlete, and a fine man. Thank you, buddy.
Could I ask you a few things, buddy? If you were playing yourself and you were looking for flaws in your game, how would you attack yourself if you were playing yourself? What kind of strategy would you come up with if you were playing yourself? Or would you give up?
Probably so.
No. Knowing Buddy, he has no flaws, and he would go on to win.
How would you attack yourself if you were playing yourself?
You think you're too aggressive? You think you play too safe? Do you think you overrun the balls?
It depends on
That's what he's asking.
the person that I'm playing.
Well, I've seen that you're a very aggressive player, and you take over the game, and you make the game go your way. How would you stop an opponent from doing that if you're on the other side of it?
Just keep trying harder as you always do. Thanks, buddy. You're great. Buddy is such a dedicated guy to this game. He doesn't philosophize as I would. He just goes on the court, plays his game, and usually wins his game. He has great skills with either hand. He has an innate ability to sense what his opponent is doing, and he has this tremendous concentration. And even though sometimes he gets tired, he just continues on. There was a wonderful match between Buddy and Angel Marquez at the Coney Island courts. And they were going at it tooth and nail, flying through the air, making unbelievable gets. The score was getting toward the end, and Buddy was visibly tired, and it looked like Angel was going to do a number on him for the last few points. He kept the volleys going, and all of a sudden, Angel Marquez got a cramp in his thigh. He took a timeout and sat down. I looked Buddy Gant closely in the eye, and for a guy who was fatigued a moment ago, all of a sudden he sensed victory. He jumped back up on the court, and though there was no physical limitation of Marquez's movement, Buddy went on to win. He's that type of a guy. You look in his eyes, you see penetration. He's always sizing up the situation. That, in my judgment, is also the skill of a great champion. We're getting ready to play the second game, and Paul Lonergan has given up his number 19 shirt. He's put on a shirt that now has number 1 on it. Can this be something in his mind that's telling us what his intentions are? Again, Al Torres is wearing a yellow shirt. There seems to be a certain conformity there to give a message to the opponents that they're on the same yellow team. I don't mean cowardice, I mean the same color team. Sastry, still sweating, shirt damp. I'm glad he didn't change it, because when you change to a dry shirt, it takes away the available dampness on your skin, and then you have to warm up again to get the sweat going so you can be loose. So there's nothing wrong with him wearing that same shirt. Since Lonergan won, he can afford to change his shirt. Even though a ball was called block and it should have been a replay, because of the speed of the ball, had nothing been said, the ball hit the player and therefore he's out. It always depends on the speed of the ball, but the basic question is, had nothing been said by the referee, would the ball have hit the man? See, if the referee calls block and it's a slowly moving ball and then it hits the player, he wouldn't be out. These are the niceties of the game that referees and players should know about. Okay. David Sheldon, even though he's strong physically, he seems to have a sense of frustration about him. I'm going to bring Carl back in here so he can give his view of what's happened so far.
Hi.
How are you doing?
How you doing, Carl? There's a curious topspin kill. Albert, going to leave?
No, I just wanted to ask you whether you were just going to use what you're taking from here, or all right.
But I will look into it. I think, here's what I was
No, the
thinking.
only reason I'm asking is because, there were some people that wanted some of the tapes instead of giving them one. I don't want to do it. Another time.
We just tried to get Albert Puzzle, many-time national champion in doubles, to express his views about what's going on in this game. He says perhaps another time, but here's Carl.
The first game, the game was close at 6-7, and then Torres decided to move in off the wall and turn the game to an easy win. The second game, Robert's team seems to be hesitant in taking the shots. I think fatigue is setting in. I would suggest freezing out Torres and turn this game around. Right now the score is 4-up.
Okay, Paul Lonergan is serving right now. He scored again. He's got that number 1 on the back of his shirt. He's determined to win this in 2. Beautiful shot by Robert Sastry. David Sheldon and Robert Sastry have to do 2 things now. One, they have to stop playing Paul Lonergan and keep bouncing the ball at the feet of Torres. 2, they should not keep switching back and forth at the serve. I believe that Robert Sastry, being the dominant player, should stay on the left. Sheldon is doing a wonderful job on the right, not getting into trouble. If Sastry stays on the left and he's the shot maker, and they keep the ball away from Lonergan, and they bounce the ball at Torres' feet, they should do very well. But what they're doing is they're switching serves, they're mixing the ball all over the place, and when they come down to lowering the ball, they lower it to Torres, but not at his feet. And he's in perfect position then to make his kill shot. Of course, they're young, they're inexperienced in this. They'll learn over the years, hopefully having heard this tape. Sheldon serving. Again, Sheldon made another mistake, serving from that side, serving it to Lonergan. You must put the pressure on Torres. But Torres has already had a little breather, so he can bounce back strong too. See, don't lower the ball, don't lower the ball. Again, he lowered it and gave Torres an opportunity.
For some reason, he seems to hit a killer to the left a lot better than to the right.
If he moves from right to left toward the center Torres, then he'll kill it to the right corner. If he's moving from left to right, in other words, backing toward the right line, then he invariably shoots into the left corner. He turns his upper body at the last moment and then causes confusion by dropping it to the other corner.
So we can anticipate pretty much what he's going to do on that basis.
Oh yeah, sure. Having seen Torres over the years, every move he makes is quite apparent, even down to which way he's going to hop the ball on the serve, even which way he's going to spin the ball in the volley. With his right hand, his weaker hand, he always has reverse spin, in other words, right side spin when he returns the ball. With his left hand, he puts the opposite spin on it. Now watch what happens. They'll fall into the same pattern. Lonergan will be back in the game. See that? He gets back everything. They're wasting their time. A bounce shot to Torres. That's it. Of course, I've never missed a shot here myself, so.
Pretty formidable to have to deal with guys that are returning everything.
The score, 6-1. Second man. The front team has won the first 15-point game, and this will also be a 15-point game. Yes, Sastry kept Torres off balance, and then went in and put the ball in front of himself.
How come they keep on giving him that shot in the middle to the waist, which he kills every time? Why don't they stop doing that?
The reason is he put enough pace on the ball to give him no decision to be made. They just reflexed and got the ball back. It was like my brother Oscar. He'd fire the ball at you with both hands. You had no control over what you were going to do. He went up to the wall knowing that you had to return it right to him. That's the pace he was able to continue on the ball. These fellas are tiring a little bit. But Lonergan is still the dominant force here in retrieving. And the front team is wasting a lot of energy trying to fight him.
How come he's not playing with his brother, by the way?
His brother is married, has a family, as Paul does, but he's very busy in his work and with his family. Sometimes he's subjected to injury. Keep in mind, in 1990, the Lonergan brothers, Paul and his brother Joe, won the outdoor